The following program was made possible by a grant from the Pew Charitable Trusts.
The minimum monthly payments due, APR 22.65% for best rate, 24.65% for standard rate. Minimum finance charge 50 cents. See cardholder agreement for details. Offer ends Sunday.
There's nothing physically wrong with you.
Then why do I feel so awful, so bloated and sluggish? Nothing gives me joy anymore. Not the house, the car, the clothes, the raise. Nothing. Doctor, I'm frightened. Well, do something. Can't you give me a pill?
There's no pill for what's wrong with you. I'm afraid you're suffering from affluenza.
Oh, my God. Why me? Is it fatal?
It's catastrophic. It's the new epidemic.
Oh, there is a cure, isn't there?
Possibly.
Affluenza is a major disease. There's no question about it.
And many people suffer from it, but very few people are aware that that's what they're suffering from.
Gotta listen to me, honey, better count all your money, better know just where you stand. If you want to be my date, well, you better get it straight. I'm a big-time shopping man. Yeah, I shop real fast. I buy things that don't last. I pay for stuff that I could get for free. And I'll do it till I die, 'cause I've figured out that life is just a one big shopping spree. Baby, come on. There's a whole lot of shopping going on. Woo! Yeah, let's go to the mall. Come on. There's a whole lot of shopping going on. Get that money out of your savings account. Come on. There's a whole lot of shopping going on. Woo!
Hi, I'm Scott Simon. Are you spending more now but enjoying it less? Millions of Americans apparently are. We're filling our lives with things and then telling public opinion pollsters and clergy and psychiatrists and friends that we feel empty inside. Never before, it seems, has so much meant so little to so many.
There's a universal feeling in this nation that we've become too materialistic, too greedy, too selfish, too self-absorbed, and that we need to bring back into balance the enduring values that have guided this country over generations.
Some call the affliction affluenza. Untreated, it can cause permanent discontent. Affluenza's costs and consequences for us, for our families and communities, for future generations, and the earth itself are immense, though often concealed.
We human beings, especially in this century, have been producing and consuming at a rate that far exceeds the ability of the planet to either absorb our pollution or replenish the stock.
It's going to hurt a bit.
Affluenza can be cured, but the virus is very contagious.
Why now, later?
And it's been spreading for quite a while.
I want a Corvette. I want a Pontiac too.
Let's go all out and buy a Cadillac too.
I can hardly wait for this dream to come true.
Are you old enough to remember the 50s, that golden age of prosperity following the Second World War?
It's a great life, eh, Bob? And tomorrow will be even better for you and for all the people.
We felt richer then than we do now. A famous book at the time called America the Affluent Society.
A book whose title would be laughable today. People would reject it, even though we have actually, in terms of gross national product and so forth, more than twice as much. Everybody's home has got twice as much stuff in it.
Back in 1958, only 4% of American homes had dishwashers. Now more than half do. Less than 1% had color televisions. Now it's 97%. And there were no microwaves, VCRs, or personal computers.
Four-car garage is probably because of storage. You never have enough storage. And so, you know, you never have enough garages.
Never enough. So much stuff. So little space. Even though the average new house has grown larger every decade. Now many new homes have 3-car garages. Nearly 900 square feet of garage space alone, which is almost the size of an entire home in the 50s.
Oh, darling, it's going to be just perfect.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world. The world of 1960. A wonderful new world of Ford.
In that gilded new world, hardly any new cars had air conditioning. Today, more than 90% do. Economy cars now offer more features than luxury cars did then.
Color's important. I don't worry too much about gas mileage at all. It's not something that I look at.
A lot of money.
Yes, it is.
Today's hottest-selling cars are expensive, gas-hungry sport utility vehicles.
A lot of people, it's a status symbol, so they're willing to spend the $30,000 to $40,000 to drive into these vehicles.
Yes, fun to see, fun to drive, fun to buy. The new Chevrolet.
Just as they did in the 50s, new cars still help us keep up with the Joneses. But these days we find it more appealing to fly. We fly 25 times as much as we did then. Sometimes we fly just to shop.
Don't just stand there. Give me your credit card.
Well, those East Coast stores really knock me out. They leave the West behind.
Potomac Mills attracts more visitors than any other site in Virginia. This shopping mall is such a popular tourist destination, airlines offer excursion flights here from distant cities. And where are you from?
Dallas area.
Potomac Mills is a discount supermall divided into what are euphemistically called neighborhoods.
Shopping malls have really become the centers of many communities. Children, as well as adults, see a shopping center as just the natural destination to fill a bored life.
70% of us visit malls each week, more than attend churches or synagogues. On average, we shop 6 hours a week and spend only 40 minutes playing with our children.
You shop, spend money, what else matters?
It's a happy-go-spending world, reflected in the windows of the suburban shopping centers where they go to buy.
By 1987, America had more shopping malls than high schools. Few mall shoppers come with any intention of purchasing a particular product. Most buy largely on impulse.
Oh, party snacks.
As this old sales training film suggests, that's no accident.
And here's that most important store decision of all, the impulse purchase. To make people hungry for as many things as possible. Hungry enough to buy a lot more than they planned to.
Buy the half-price dress. The cocktail party will come. Have you been to Potomac Mills this month?
It was an ingratiatingly clever ad campaign that first lured me to Potomac Mills Mall.
Shopping is therapy. Listen to that little voice in your head. Shop, 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 shop. You can buy happiness. Just don't pay retail for it.
But even wholesale, the price is higher than most of us seem able to afford. In fact, the percentage of Americans calling themselves very happy reached its highest point back in 1957.
The psychological reality of people is that almost our entire orientation to how we are doing is based on comparison. That's why, as an entire society grows, people don't feel any better because they're still in the same relative position. There's this sense of being on an endless treadmill and of never getting to where you thought you were going to get.
Still, we keep on increasing our consumption, partly by saving less and working more.
In our research, we hear the same refrain all the time from people. I have no life. I get up in the morning, daycare, elder care, a 20 to 40-minute commute to work. I have to work late. I get home at night, there's laundry, bills to pay, jam something into the microwave oven. I'm exhausted. I go to sleep, I wake up, the routine begins the next day all over again. This is what life has become in America.
Would Jesus be agenda-driven? I mean, would he carry a beeper? Can you imagine him getting beeped out of the Last Supper?
Richard Swenson, M.D. He could be called an affluenza epidemiologist.
If you look at all the countries in the world that have the most prosperity, They are the same countries that have the most stress.
Dr. Swenson is convinced that much of the pain his patients suffer is a result of what he calls possession overload.
It could be physical symptoms. You might have headaches, low back pain, hyperacidity, palpitations in the heart, unexplained aches and pains. It could be emotional problems. It could be like depression, or it could be anxiety, sleeplessness. You find that your life is being taken up by maintaining and caring for things instead of people. Everything I own owns me.
And we've had a lot of sickness this year, incredible amount of sickness.
Dr. Swenson says Americans in epidemic numbers have been pushed beyond their emotional, physical, and financial limits as they've chased a dream for more.
They have exhaustion and their relationships are vaporizing. They're surrounded by all kinds of fun toys, but the meaning has gone.
The secret to a good relationship can be found in new strawberry kiwi jello.
New improved Trident. Giant slices.
Nourish the furniture you love.
The stuff dreams are made of.
By the age of 20, the average American has seen 1 million commercial messages.
APR 22.65% for best rate.
Ads are everywhere. If you get the feeling that there's a lot more advertising around than there was when you were a kid, it's not your imagination.
Advertising accounts for 2/3 of the space in our newspapers and 40% of our mail. America spends $1 billion a year on billboards alone.
The extreme is the billboard that was proposed for outer space that would project logos that would look about the size of the moon, visible to practically everybody on Earth.
You got a big future ahead of you, kid. You're going to be asked to endorse products.
On average, each of us will spend 1 full year of our lives watching TV commercials.
Advertising encourages us to meet non-material needs through material ends. It tells us to buy their product because we'll be loved, we'll be accepted. And also it tells us that we are not lovable and acceptable without buying their product.
And the bottom line is that it helps turn citizens into consumers.
Attention mall shoppers, there is a clearance at the shoe store.
The process begins in childhood.
There is a sale at the bookstore.
This new game helps whet children's appetites for shopping.
There is a clearance at the kitchen store.
Yes, my favorite store.
The winner is the one who buys the most stuff and gets back to the parking lot first. Saving isn't part of the strategy.
60% of all Americans say that our children are not just materialistic, they're very materialistic.
That's actually good news to some people. Children are the fastest growing segment of the consumer market.
And many major corporations are finding that the consumer lifestyle starts younger and younger. And if you wait to talk to a person about your product till they're 18 years of age, you probably won't capture them.
Obviously, somebody out there is afraid the youngsters might escape. From 1980 to 1995, the amount targeted to reach them rose from $100 million to $1 billion a year. It's paying off. So what'd you get, may we ask?
I got some Donna. I got some Donna Karen, some Gap jeans.
I got a Gap sweater. I'm on my way to get a jacket from American Eagle.
I'm about to get some shoes, and we got this Donna Karen shirt.
I think that's good. I think that'll really get the message across. Yeah.
Jennifer Galos and Olivia Martin worry that today teenagers seek self-esteem in clothes and cars and are often left without a genuine sense of identity.